In this video, I'm going to go through and download and set up the Google USB drivers so that we can test out a real physical Android device. And we'll use that for testing and development purposes. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's set up our physical Android device. So the first thing we need to do is plug in the device. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to plug in my Android device. And you notice now I've got this little error. Basically, the device driver software was not successfully installed. Now it recognizes that it's a Nexus 7, but it doesn't really know what to do. And if we go into Control Panel, Devices, Device Manager, we can see here under Other Devices, in my case my Nexus 7, which is an Android tablet, it's got the dreaded warning and it's not going to basically be working until we fix it. I think it's also listed under Portable Device, but essentially we can't use this at this stage, so we need to load a driver. Now if you're running a Google device, a tablet or a regular device, you're in luck because the standard USB drivers are included in the SDK manager. So I'm going to double click into that and run it again. And you will find, if you've been paying attention at home, you've probably seen that the Android SDK Manager wants to download and install that Google driver each time we go in there. And you can notice that I've just loaded it up and it's already selected it. Now this is just for Windows. The Mac people don't need to don't need to have a USB driver. So if you're running a Google device, you're in luck. You just click on that, which I am, and I'm going to click on Install Package. Regular thing, accept the license, and install it. Now if you're not running a Google device, you're running a Samsung or some other device, you'll need to go and find the Windows USB drivers for that model and install them in place of this step effectively. And by doing that, we should be good to go. Now at this stage it's only downloaded it. We'll need to go back into the folder to actually install the drivers. So to do that, we're going to go into the SDK subfolder from our Android Development Tools bundle folder, to Extras, Google, and again you'll go to the directory. If you're not running a Google device, you'll be going to the folder containing your drivers and USB driver. And this is all the drivers that are needed to get this to work. So they're good to go now. So I'm going to go back and go into Device Manager again. I'm going to click on my device which is not working. I'm going to right click it, click on Update Driver Software. I'm going to browse and I'm going to go into the folder of where those drivers are. So in my case, if you recall, it was ADP folder, SDK, Extras, Google. I think USB driver might be enough for that. We'll soon find out. Now it's saying in my case, would you like to install this device software named Google? But again, if you haven't got a Google device, you'll need to go and navigate to the folder containing your USB drivers of Windows. In this case, that's correct. I'm going to click on Install. So once it's installed, we basically want to make sure that it's working and the device hasn't got any errors. Now you can see here now that we haven't got any errors, and it's under Android device, we've got Android Composite ADB interface. So what that basically is telling me that the driver has been successfully installed and we're good to go. And in a future video, we're going to go through and I'll show you how Eclipse talks to an Android device. But you need to look at the next video first, and that's how to set up Android from the Android device's point of view, so that both the computer and Android can talk to each other. Okay, so let's move on to that video now.